So we spoke 7 months ago where I was basically making fun of the vaccine being absolutely ineffective. They claim 95% effectiveness. Well, guess what? 7 months later, we now see it's only 64% effective, according to the latest Israeli study published on Bloomberg. And all sources, by the way, it will be at the end of the video. So it's 64% effective and going down. That included the earlier variants. Looking at the Telegraph quoted the study, both the Pfizer and AstraZeneca vaccines are only 10% effective against Delta, and it gets worse because looking at the latest Israeli hospitalized studies, so they wanted to come and say, yeah, it's not so good against asymptomatic, but it protects against hospitalization and death. Let's look at the hospitalized statistics. For Israel, it literally is exactly the same. 80% vaccinated, 80% hospitalized cases have been vaccinated. 90% by age group, it actually goes by age group. Right, so 90% vaccinated at older years, actually 92% have been hospitalized who have been vaccinated. So as the age group goes high, it's actually worse, and also for the younger ages as well. The more you've been vaccinated, the more likely you are to be hospitalized. You can go and check that out at the end. Looking at deaths in Israel, also crazy. All deaths so far, only been a few, have been vaccinated individuals. Yesterday, two older people, 85 and 86-year-old, and died from it, both vaccinated. We are seeing it's useless. Look at the UK data, 60,000 people up till the end of June had corona. And looking at the months before, 40 people died. Half of those who died were vaccinated, half were not vaccinated. And their amount of people that have been vaccinated in the UK is much lower than Israel. So it is showing very clearly this vaccine is useless against the newer variants. Now, who caused these variants? Well, did you know for a year, from January, or even before that, December 2019, when it was discovered, hence COVID-19, all the way up till December 2020, when the vaccine was revealed, there was not a single variant. But the second it came out, suddenly we had the British variant, the Brazilian variant, the Indian variant, renamed to the Delta variant, and today we have Delta Plus and Lambda variant. All these due to our lovely vaccine that has allowed it to mutate into something else, which now the vaccine is useless against, right? So the vaccine, and it was pretty much useless as well when it came out, by the way. Again, looking at the study of deaths in the European Union, looking at from April 2020 till June 2020, and April 2021 till June 2021. It is exactly the same, dropping off a cliff curve. Guys, remember, there was no lockdown last summer, but we didn't have a vaccine. So what helped us? Because there was no corona. Now we've got the vaccine. Oh, it's the vaccine that stopped it. No, it wasn't. That's just the way it is. It's the weather. Look at South Africa, what's happening at the moment. They are going through a plague at the moment of corona because it's the winter there. What do you want? It's cold. So they're going through a lot of corona. But not here. It's the summer. Guess what? We're going to get even more. Now, I want to talk about this fake vaccine. So the fake vaccine, right, which we've seen here now is 64% officially, 10% against Delta. A phase 3 trial, which this vaccine never went through, is 2 years, right? 2 years takes of human trials. Now, this never went through. It was emergency approved. Now, imagine they would have gone through the 2 year. We're only 7 months through it. It's gone from 95 to 64% effective. It was basically told everyone can get it. No allergies, no heart problems. You got anything, just take it. It's the best thing for you. That's how you can get 90% already vaccinated in Israel. So everyone was told there's no problems with it, there's no symptoms, there's no side effects. We've just seen not only is it 64% after only 7 months, we also see now the FDA have required on the Pfizer vaccine to say that it could cause myocarditis. I can tell you personal stories from women that have had it that their periods have gone down from 5 to 2 days, have had period problems. Nearly everyone I know who've had the virus came down with basically flu-like symptoms for a week that they had the Pfizer vaccine. And now on the Johnson & Johnson, it's had to have a warning label saying it could cause an what's it called? Anti-immune virus, which is very rare, but suddenly with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, it comes up much more regularly. So slowly, we're seeing all the things that a phase 3 trial would normally identify. Where do you think we're going to be at the end of 2 years with this vaccine? I could tell you where we're going to be. 0% effectiveness and absolutely useless, and therefore would never have been approved, just like every single mRNA vaccine since ever. mRNA vaccines have been available since the 90s. Not one was ever approved. But this one, emergency approval, 95% effectiveness, everyone can take it. Now we're seeing it's not effective, and it hasn't even finished its phase 3 trials. It's going to take another year and 3 months. What just happened in France? President Macron required all healthcare workers to be vaccinated. That is mandated, it is now law, and he is saying we are looking into forcing mandatory vaccination on people. Again, we have seen it doesn't work. The WHO just came out and said there is no recommendation for a third shot. Israel gave a third shot. Just now they've said all old people, people vulnerable should have a third shot. WHO says no, you shouldn't do it. Mask mandates are back in Israel. They're looking at putting indoor mask mandates back in the UK. They were just about to reopen next week. I promise you, you will see they will not be able to. They will have to have some clause and some inability. And already Boris Johnson is saying, we think we need a green pass system. They will never stop with this. They will never give in and accept their vaccine is useless. Corona is not deadly. 40 people in 60,000 in Britain is a rounding error. It's a joke. It's insignificant. Most of these people are very, very old. Israel, 2 people who died yesterday were 85 and 86. It's irrelevant. How old did you want them to live? I mean, really, seriously, everyone has to die from something. This is insanity of no end. They will not admit their vaccine is useless. They will still plug a third shot. They will say you need to get kids vaccinated when kids can't die from it. Oh, whoa. And it got worse. The Ministry of Health in Israel was found last week. They said, well, we're going to have to increase, obviously, restrictions. They're already putting the mask mandate for nothing. We're going to have to increase even more restrictions. Why? It's gone up from 37 to 47 hospitalized cases. The newspaper went and checked it out, called up every single hospital, and found there were only 26. And even those were old cases or people with pre-existing, they're cancer patients who have a positive corona test. So they're critical because of cancer, and that's why they're critical, but they've got a positive corona test. Do you understand what we're dealing with here? What did the Ministry of Health do? We get it from private companies. That's where we get our data from. Next day, they changed it. Back down to 26? Nah. They went down to 37. They took 4 off. They couldn't even go back to the truth so that the next day they can just boost it back up to 41. This is the lying people. They have been caught lying. They've been caught lying. Half the amount that they said. They were caught lying, and still they just don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about them drilling the vaccine. It will be mandatory. We are 100% going into lockdown, definitely by this winter, but probably earlier. Already plans in Israel, by the way, for the high holidays. Already plans for lockdown. Imagine, leaked plans. They don't even know if there's going to be corona. Already leaked in July for September, October, high holiday lockdown. Guys, wake up, please. I'm begging you. Everyone has to wake up. Enough is enough. Are you thick? Are you stupid? You want to inject this to your kid? You can't even get it. Again, British study. They found that 25 kids died from corona. I don't believe that in a second, but let's pretend, right? Out of how many kids who actually got corona? It was a 0.001% chance. Why would you want to inject your kid with a now FDA warning for myocarditis? We know it causes period issues. We know it causes fertility issues. We know it causes an immuno disease for the Johnson & Johnson, and this is just after 7 months of phase 3 trials. Where are we getting to at the end of the 2 years? Are you guys mental?